blah, blah. What's up, y'all? It's Marcellus Wiley, that dude. Let's talk about what y'all talking about, which is Joy Taylor saying that the FS1 lawsuit had nothing to do with her being fired from FS1. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, but let's chew on it for a minute and take a deep dive as she talks all things FS1, past, present, and future with Billy Bush, who I got a pickleball challenge out for. My dog, Mr. Golfer himself. That's my neighbor. Anyway, we're going to have some fun with that, but make sure first you like and subscribe to this channel. And also, you guys support the kids in the community by leaving your email at projecttransition.org. Or you can leave a donation or be like Scott Stiles, who's a gym member, a giver every month. You receive amazing prizes like Scott Stiles got that, or exclusive access to our events, and even more importantly, tremendous impact with resources with the kids. So do all of that. Now, let's listen to Joy Taylor tell us that one had nothing to do with the other. All right, we're listening.
You know, being the headline of the change was frustrating because there were 3 shows let go, first of all. It was sort of made it seem like I was the only person that was no longer going to be there, which obviously, as you mentioned, is not true. There was a lot of really big talent that from the network that they moved on from, but it also was, you know, a lot of people behind the scenes, and you know, that's really what I thought about immediately, and you know, still do.
Massive overhaul at FS1, all facts, all accurate, but the devil's in the details. Not everyone was released from FS1 from those 3 shows. We're gonna talk through that. Why were some saved, others not saved, and how does that connect to what Joy is saying?
You I don't know how open you are about talking about it. It's written places, but your name is mentioned in the lawsuit that that this hairstylist filed back, months ago. That makes it a little bit more exciting, which makes your name rise above the other guys, right? Is what that person said in there, any of that true? Or have you been dragged through the mud by that person?
Damn, Billy Bush. No wonder you Billy Bush. That's how we do it? Good Lord. She gonna answer this? Ain't no way.
Well, it's still an ongoing legal situation, so I can't comment on that. I will have something to say about it hopefully very soon when I can legally. I will say that situation and that suit had nothing to do with the changes that happens at FS1. I mean, I think from a logical standpoint, everyone can just look at it and see what the changes were and that there were 3 shows that were cut. To come
you
to
think
that
they would have stood by you? Because I think television executives are some of the most spineless people at times. They're scared to death. You think that they would have stood by you had Barstool not been a more attractive option for them? Because that's a state.
I mean that's like very far above my pay grade. You know, like it's like a change like that at a network level is just not something that they're consulting talent on, you know?
Okay, now there's 2 things that we got to point out. One is the one she just said they're not consulting talent on when they're making change at a network. We all know that ain't true, because if that was true, then how would you know what was next for you if you're ever switching roles? Like I've been there before where they're like, hey, Marcellus, guess what? Colin doesn't want to do Sports Nation anymore. Do you want to do it? Yeah, Colin's still on the air doing Sports Nation. How do I know that? Because they're telling me. They're like, prepare yourself for what's next. Then you could take it to LA. How about when I was at ESPN, they're like, hey, you want to go to FS1 and Jason Whitlock and do a show with him called Speak for Yourself? Yeah, you think that just happened the same day I got there? It was like months and months before Jason was coming over to my backyard. Now I'm using me because, hey, I could take the hits. But with Joy, well, let's just look at her career. You think when she was at first Undisputed, they didn't say, hey, there's a role for you on Colin's show? And then that happened, and then, oh, there's a role for you to go to do your show with Acho, and Marcellus is going to be gone. Yeah, I know for a fact that was happening. So come on, let's not be disingenuous here. Let's not lie. And the second thing is when she says that it's a legal matter, ongoing legal matter, and she'll have something to say about it later. That typically is not true as well. You want to know why? Because then you're going to have to sign that NDA when it's over. So then we're not going to hear anything. So I wouldn't hold my breath to wait for Joy Taylor to have some big grand statement about this, but correct me if I'm wrong, and beat it up in the comments if you think I'm wrong.
Those type of deals take years to put together. There's a lot of signatures that have to be on the bottom line of that. People that have, way more money and say than I do made those decisions. So I can't really speak to how all that would have gone down.
This is the reason why I don't like doing interviews, and this is not to point out and attack Billy Bush because he's obviously a big dog in his business. He right now, I'm certain, is like, this ain't adding up. But this is what an interview is. Let her speak. Let her talk for herself. But you're saying it takes years for it to happen, but it's happened before, and it's happened for you. Have you made changes within the industry? Yeah. Were you led into it? Were you tipped off? Were you in the understanding and knowing before the things happen? Yes. So now why in this situation are you acting like you don't? Interesting. All right. Just that simple. Look at that face. That's the face of, I'm going to let you speak, but all right, whatever.
Because it's just like that's a huge deal. Like what happened was not just, it can be boiled down to for the internet as, Joy Taylor is no longer at FS1, and that's a simple way of looking at it. But the reality is 3 shows were let go, and a massive sports network shifted into a really aggressive, different direction.
And everyone wants to know why. And Joy's putting herself out there talking about it. Like Keyshawn is not doing the interviews like this. I don't know. Paul Pierce, I haven't seen him talking about it like this. Like put it this way. I'm not attacking Joy Taylor. She just is the one who's raising her hand to say, I want to talk about it. So now I'm listening. And what I'm hearing, let's just say 2 + 2 is somewhere between 3 and 5.
That was a decision that I'm positive they didn't come to lightly, and they had many, many discussions about doing for an extended period of time. So when I say it had nothing to do with the suit, like it just didn't, for a multitude of reasons. But just speaking frankly, it didn't. And the shift is something that is just not, not something I would have been consulted on anyway. Like these are massive decisions that are made by executives that I do not have access to the rooms for.
All right, let's stop right there. How on this show, I leave you guys breadcrumbs. Sometimes I don't leave enough breadcrumbs and you get mad at me, right? I've seen some of the clips I've done and you're like, dog, say it or don't say it. And I'm like, I can't say it because that person would be worse off if I say it. I understand where y'all coming from and your frustration. But some things I don't have to say. And it's so obvious. Like, become a gym member with Project Transition. As a giver every month, small gifts have a big impact in creating real change. Not only will you transform lives, you'll also win and unlock once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Join me, Marcellus Wiley, in making a real impact through Project Transition, a global giving community dedicated to uplifting underserved youth with mentorship, education, and access to real opportunities. Your donation doesn't just enter you to win unforgettable prizes and exclusive experiences with myself and other gym members. It fuels our mission to empower the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and game changers. From after-school programs, life skills camps, and career development, every dollar helps unlock potential where it's needed most and where every person makes a world of difference. Give back, win big, be the difference, be greater than your greatest excuse. Support Project Transition today. Become a gym member and help turn obstacles into opportunities. The fact that if you look at FS1 over the years and all the changes that have occurred, any show, FS1, ESPN, and then you hear the guys when they finally get on the show, they put their guard down and they start talking about, I've been really thinking about this, really excited for this. This has been a dream in the making. I remember when it first came my way. They're talking months ago. They're talking sometimes years ago. They're like, I knew this was happening, right? You think Colin just woke up one day saying, you know what, I'm moving to Chicago, y'all build me a studio. No, they start talking about it while he's still in LA. He's still on the air behind the scenes, right? Et cetera. So we all know that doesn't fly. But why is she trying to sell that to us when we all know that that's not how it goes? Y'all don't just wake up and then get a new gig, a new show. It's not like that. So I know that this is all feeling like it's overwhelming to Joy because her name is the biggest name in terms of what we take from the firings and the lawsuit, like the most salacious, I should say. And look, we're all stars in our own movie. So when something happens to a bunch of us, it happens the most to you, right? And you're like, what? Me? Come on. And you try to defend yourself. But sometimes the best defense is not attacking, blitzing, going after it, right? Sometimes you got to play prevent, right? Just prevent them from scoring. Even though my dad says prevent defense only prevents you from winning. I digress. Let's talk about these changes at Fox. And this is like these ingredients right now I'm hearing from Joy is like the ingredients you use for revisionist history. Like this is how all of a sudden stories change and then the next generation or people coming afterwards who don't really know all the details be like, oh, that's what happened. And it's like, no, that's not what happened. That's how it's been altered and changed to sound like it happened. So we all know that this all came to a head. Let's just be real public facing at least. First lawsuit that happened, hairdresser, right? Second, And then after that first lawsuit, the first thing that really happened that was like, wow, Fox puts out their statement, first lawsuit, blanket statement, like, all right, we're taking this seriously, we're looking into it. Then Acho is the one that put the first gas on this. Remember? He deleted that post. And everybody's like, you can't delete nothing in no social media era. What you deleting for? It's not going to work, one. And two, why are you doing it and you know it's not going to work? What are you hiding? And then everybody went on an investigation. And that really gave fuel to this lawsuit, because then there was a second lawsuit. And remember, that's the first time where Charlie Dixon was put on administrative leave, right? Didn't go out to the Super Bowl, et cetera, but on the leave of absence. But we know in corporate America, that's just a way for them to buy time behind the scenes and then really find out what's real from fake, and 99% of the time fire you, right? So that happens. Then remember, Joy was missing, internal investigation, suspension, whatever you want to call it. Joy comes up missing. You're like, what? Weird time for you to take a vacation, which we knew it wasn't, because you just came back from the Super Bowl. Remember all this, right? And then Charlie got fired, a couple weeks go by, whatever, he gets fired. Charlie Dixon fired. Do y'all understand how he was rolling, right? Okay, so then, he was big time. He had it all. He just got a promotion like a year or two before. He just got his promotion to like running all of the content, right? Anyway, so then now he's gone. And then the 3 shows got canceled. But 3 shows got canceled, 2 shows stayed. And why did those 2 shows stay? Well, they canceled the 3 because they all were part of Charlie's orbit, right? Think about it. If you talk about Breakfast Ball, you can say it's the ratings and all that, but it was surviving with the bad ratings before this lawsuit. You could say Speak, the one that Joy was hosting with Keyshawn and Paul Pierce. You could say First Things First. Oh, that wasn't the facility, I should say. Facility got suspended, kicked off the air. Why? He created the facility. He created the facility, the newest one, Breakfast Ball, newest one, and then Speak, which was another version of Speak for Yourself. Those 3 got gone. And why? They were all Charlie Dixon creations. Now, think about this. Why didn't the Herd go? We know Charlie Dixon didn't create the Herd. That's some old stuff way back in ESPN. Colin been rolling. Why didn't First Things First? Because Charlie really didn't create that. Obviously helped out, but Jamie Horowitz did. And then Jamie Horowitz left a couple months before that show aired with Chris Carter, the first edition. So think about it. There is a coincidence, or there's a through line connecting that, wow, everything Charlie Dixon had to go, and there was collateral damage. I think that's a better assessment than what we just heard from Joy. Like those things, once Charlie was gone, why are you fired? Here's the simple. Why is Charlie Dixon gone? Nothing happened? Nothing was involved? Come on, y'all. So that's where that is, right? And then the craziest thing is, why did some people survive and others didn't? Here's another question. Why did Danny Parkins survive? Well, I know the answer. You guys probably know the answer too. He's really, really tight with Nick Wright and Colin Cowherd. Well, that helps, right? But you were on a show that got canceled. How come they didn't keep the other guys? Danny Parkins ain't got nothing to do with this, okay? Mark Schlereth, he's still going to be doing games, right? Yeah. Is Emmanuel Acho still doing a studio show? No, right? See how I'm saying? Like, Emmanuel Acho a little too close to this lawsuit. Mark Schlereth, you fine. Danny Parkins, you fine. Why not Keyshawn? Now, Keyshawn and Paul Pierce, why not? Let's just say we don't have a role for you guys in studio shows, but also you guys have been through it before. Keyshawn has a chance, I've heard, internally. He hasn't told me anything about that. But Paul Pierce, this lawsuit, and then Paul Pierce's name, you kind of get it, right? So there's other guys, James Jones, et cetera. But the point is, if you were a part of this lawsuit, or if you're a part of any of these Charlie shows creations, we got to get rid of you. And the only exemptions is going to be people who we feel are deemed far removed from this lawsuit and this dust and kick up. So tell me what you guys think about what she said. It's just interesting. I think that if I were advising Joy, I would say, stop talking. not because you can talk and fend for yourself. It's just like, the more you talk, and if it ain't one thou wow the truth, the realest, people gonna point it out. And I think that's what's leading to her continuously being the butt of the jokes, is because she keeps going out there, but then going out there and not squashing it, just giving it more fuel to the fire. So beat up in the comments. Let me know what you think. And let's have some fun with that. Now, you know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. Before we flow, boy, we check in on your dough, boy. So how's your money? How's your finances right now? Let's talk about that, girl. All right, so you got to go to my team and monitor debt resolution for a financial wellness solution. Seriously, if you got any kind of debt, medical debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, personal debt, man, I was trying to go out to LA, check out Joy Taylor on FS1. She ain't there no more, and I can't get a refund on my flight debt. Any type of debt it is, you can hit up my team and monitor debt resolution. All right, QR code or pt.monitordebt.com. Pow. Either way, you can be like my man Patrick, recently divorced, in debt right now, got the little kids with them. They got to relocate. They moving. Well, that debt's going to be gone next year, 2026. Why? Because he checked the link in my description, and then monitor debt resolution was the solution. Make sure you guys do the same thing. Call this number right here, 866-204-0071. That's 866-204-0071. Wow. Oh, yes, let's get into this. Oh, man, I'm so compelled to keep it real. Got to do this. Now, you know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. Oh, Joy getting that sugar-free today, baby. You getting some of this, I love that dude from Atlanta, too. I forget his name. He talk like this. He be like, yeah, let me just say this, whoever he is, beat it up in the comments. I love that dude. He can rap. Golly. He be like, yeah, stop it, pimpin'. If not for the suit, let's hear it, Joy Taylor. Joy said don't blame the lawsuit. Y'all wildin', but girl, come on now. You know what you hide. Said it's all love, no bad blood, just change. But if that suit never dropped, you still be in the range. Hello. No court date, you still rocking on set. Mike's hot, lights bright, collecting that check. FS1 don't just, oops, pull the plug on stars. They say lawyers in the mix and hit you with the bars. Bye-bye. Joy, you great, but this heat too loud. So they slid your badge back while you wave to the crowd. You talking like it's random, like a summer rain shower, but that legal thunderstorm shook the whole tower. If the suit wasn't filed in 25, no cap, you'd be laughing on air, still chopping sports stats. But instead, you in interviews trying to keep it all cute while we read between the lines like a ref in dispute. This ain't no maybe, it's connect the dot. When A meets B, the C is out the spot. You can tell the press nah and smile for the fans, but the streets smell smoke when they see the fire's hands. Yeah, you the type to say it's fine, we just moving along. Meanwhile, HR playing that walkout song. They ain't waiting for no trial or the jury say. They just cleaned up the desk and sent you on your way. Yeah, Joy, keep the spin, let the media dance. But without that suit, you still got the chance. Now you free agent, doing podcasts and brunch. We all know the truth. It was that lawsuit punch. Principal or principal? Nah, this was business math. And the moment court came, they cleared your path. So say what you say, but we know the score. If no case in play, you'll still be on the production floor. If it ain't rough, it ain't me. If it ain't real, it ain't me. This is Marcellus Wiley with an urgent message for anyone struggling with over $10,000 in credit card debt. Here's what you need to do right now. Visit pt.monitordebt.com. They've helped thousands reduce what they owe by dealing directly with creditors, cutting balances by 30, 40, even 50%. This isn't a loan. This is a proven debt settlement program where you make affordable monthly deposits while they do the heavy lifting. Many clients become debt-free in 24 to 48 months. Don't wait another day drowning in interest. Call 866-204-0071 or visit pt.monitordebt.com. Your financial freedom is waiting. It's just one phone call away. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come. Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe the purpose.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.